Uh, we're a Bachelor Arts class, William Shakespeare, Cymbeline. And ironically, we are addressing issues regarding class. Um, a few updates. Uh, for Cornelius, since, regarding timeliness in class, and again, the VCU Bachelor Arts, um, uh, Cuny, Cuny, will also be um, Cornelius. So that's Cuny and the doubling for Cornelius at the same time. So we'll just kind of see how that goes. Um, Jailers, Jacqueline has been added as jailers. So that includes Jezebel and so that's Jezebel and Jewel and Jennifer and Jacqueline. And for a Tribune, um, the Academy has been included um, along with Ludacris. And so our focus is still compatibility, addressing compatibility and courtship. And as you can tell from my hair or from this, here, um, we're also going to kind of address crowns. Uh, so, yeah, there was crowns that I kind of saw without, kind of those things like, being a part of something and not necessarily knowing your role in it actually. Then just afterwards, becoming clear as to who you are with regards to this, and understanding those clear distinctions, separating certain things. So the company that I was with, the artistic director, I think I had mentioned it to him. And so, things like that, when you mention certain things, and it's kind of like you're recommending something. Um, but, just now becoming, knowing more with regards to what that was, and, those issues regarding recommendations and who to recommend and how to recommend. Um, even when you're familiar with the person, you still want to be something that is compatible to that person in terms of, what it is they direct or how they direct. Um, so that was entitled Crowns as well. So crowns essentially. So I was kind of fumbling with my hair, or so I'll probably just kind of I'm gonna use this as like the ideal, not idea, but like with regards to crowns. So whatever comes out or whatnot, that's gonna be part of this reading, part of this class. Um, and one of the characters, just an FYI, uh, one of the jailers, that including Jennifer, is someone that I just recently started going to for my locks. Um, and another update. Uh, so we're gonna go back because I did exclude the Italians, um, and I said that we will still keep the Dutchman and the Spaniard. But when I went through and was doing, Armabius Maybelline, um, I excluded the Frenchman. So we're going to go back to include the Frenchman. So that's going to be at 1.4. And again, this is Cymbeline. With regards to the pronunciation, you know, I'm not a big fan of the Cymbeline, but I do get that the Cymbeline might not be as, you know, however similar, it may not be as, I guess, as general pop as the Cymbeline. So and Cymbeline is completely out of the question. So because of that, it's being pronounced Cymbeline. So we're going to go back to 1.4, and then once that part is addressed where Frenchman was excluded, then we are going to go back to where we begin where we stopped, and that's going to be 2.4. So our Frenchman will be, because I want it still clear and compatible with the current casting. The Frenchman would be something like so we're going to do Fuming as the Frenchman. So let's go back. Frenchman. I have seen him in France. We had very many there could behold the sun with as firm eyes as he. And then his banishment. Interposed Hughes. Sir, we have known together in Orleans. Sir, you orate my poor kindness. I was glad I did atone my countrymen and you. It had been pity you should have been put together with so mortal a purpose as then each bore, upon importance of so slight and trivial a nature. Let's back up. So we're going to begin again. So I'm not just doing Frenchman or Fuming, but still incorporating posthumous. So Frenchman, I have seen him in France. We had very many there could behold the sun with as firm eyes as he. And then his banishment. Interposed humans. Frenchman, sir, we have known together in Orleans. Posthumus, since when I have been a debtor to you for courtesies, which I will ever to pay, and yet pay still? Frenchman, sir, you orate my poor kindness? I was glad to atone my countrymen, and to you it had been pity you should have been put together with so mortal a purpose as then each bore, upon importance of so slight and trivial nature. Posthumus, by your pardon, sir, I was then a young traveller, rather shunned to go even with what I heard than in my early action to be guided by others' experiences. But upon my mended judgment, if I offend not to say it is mended, my quarrel was not altogether slight. Frenchman, faith, yes, to be put in the arbitrament of swords, and by such too that would by all likelihood have confounded one the other or have fallen both. Frenchman, safely, I think. 'Twas a contention in public which may without contradiction suffer the report. It was much like an argument that fell out last night, where each one of us fell in praise of our country mistresses, this gentleman at that time vouching, and upon warrant of bloody affirmation, his to be more fair, virtuous, wise, chaste, constant, qualified, and yes, and less attemptable than any the rarest of our ladies in France. Posthumus, she holds her virtue still, and I my mind. Posthumus, being so far provoked as I was in France, I would abate her nothing, though I profess myself her adorer, not her friend. I praised her as I rated her, so do I my stone. More than the world enjoys. You are mistaken. The one may be sold or given, or if there were wealth enough for the purchase, or merit for the gift. The other is not a thing for sale, and only the gift of the gods, which by their graces I will keep. Your Italy contains none so accomplished a courtier to convince the honor of my mistress, if in the holding or loss of that you term her frail. I do nothing doubt you have store of thieves. Notwithstanding, I fear not my ring. Sir, with all my heart, this worthy signor, I thank him, makes no stranger of me. We are familiar at first. No, no. You are a great deal abused in too bold a persuasion, and I doubt not you sustain what you're worthy of by your attempt. A repulse? Though your attempt, as you call it, deserve more a punishment to. What lady would you choose to assail? I will wage against your goad to it. My ring I hold dear as my finger. 'Tis part of it. This is but a custom in your tongue. You bear a graver purpose, I hope. Will you? I shall but lend my diamond till your return. Let there be covenants drawn between us. My mistress exceeds in goodness the hugeness of your unworthy thinking. I dare you to this match. Here's my ring. I embrace these conditions. Let us have articles betwixt us. Only thus far you shall answer. If you make your voyage upon her and give me directly to understand you have prevailed, I am no further your enemy. She is not worth our debate. If she remain unseduced, you not making it appear otherwise for your ill opinion and the assault you have made to her chastity, you shall answer me with your sword. Agreed. Frenchman, will this hold? Thank you. Okay. Crowns. Enter Posthumus. Fear it not, sir. I would I were so sure to win the king as I am bold her honor will remain hers. Not any, but abide the change of time, quake in the present winter's state, and wish that warmer days would come. In these feared hopes, I barely gratify your love. They failing, I must die much your debtor. I do believe, states as though I am none, nor like to be, that this will prove a war, and you shall hear the legions now in Gallia soon landed, and are not fearing Britain, then have tidings of any penny tribute paid. Our countrymen are men more ordered than when Julius Caesar smiled at their lack of skill, but found their courage where they is frowning at. Rewind. I do believe, state as though I am none, nor like to be, that this will prove a war, and you shall hear the legions now in Gallia sooner landed, and are not fearing Britain, than have tidings of any penny tribute paid. Our countrymen are men more ordered than when Julius Caesar smiled at their lack of skill, but found their courage worthy his frowning at. Their discipline, now mingled with their courages, will make known to their approvers they are people such that men's upon the world. The swiftest hearts have posted you by land, and winds of all the corners kissed your sails to make your vessel nimble. I hope the briefness of your answer made the speediness of your return, and therewithal the best. Or let her beauty look through a casement to allure false hearts, and be false with them. Their tenor good, I trust. All is well yet. Sparkles the stone as it was wont, or is not too dull for your good wearing. The stone's too hard to come by. Make not, sir, your loss your sport. I hope you know that we must not continue friends. If you can't make it apparent that you have tasted her in bed, my hand and ring is yours. If not, the foul opinion you had of her pure honor gains or loses, your sword or mine, or masterless leaves both. To who shall find them? Proceed. This is true, and this you might have heard of here by me or by some other, so they must or do your honor injury. This is a thing which you might from relation likewise reap, being as it is much spoke of. This is her honor. Let it be granted you have seen all this, and praise be given to your remembrance the description of what is in her chamber. Nothing saves the wager you have laid. Once more, let me behold it. Is it that which I left with her? Maybe she plucked it off to send it me. Oh, no, 'tis true. Here, take this too. It is a basilisk unto mine eye, kills me to look on it. Let there be no honor where there is beauty, truth, where semblance, love, where there is another man. The vows of women of no more bondage be to where they are made, than they are to their virtues, which is nothing. Oh, above measure false. Very true. And so I hope he came by it. Back my ring. Render to me some corporal sign about her, more evident than this, for this was stolen. Hark you. He swears. Jupiter, he swears. 'Tis true. Nay, keep the ring. 'Tis true. I am sure she would not lose it. Her attendants are all sworn and honorable. They induced to steal it, and by a No, he has enjoyed her. The cognizance of her incontinency is this: she has brought the name of whore thus dearly. There, take thy hire, and all the fins of hell divide themselves between you. Never talk on it. She has been coated by him. Hey, and it does confirm another stain as big as hell can hold. Were there no more but it? Spare your arithmetic. Never count the terms. Once in a million? No, swearing. And if you swear, if you will swear, you have not done it, you lie. And I will kill thee if thou dost deny thou'st made me cuckold. Oh, that I had her here to tear her limb meal? I will go there and do it. The court, before her father. I'll do something. Exit. Enter Postumus. Is there no way for men to be but women? Must be half workers? We are all bastards. And that most venerable man, which I did call my father, was I know not where when I was stamped. Some corner with his tools made me a counterfeit, yet my mother seemed the dean of that time. So does my wife. The non-peril of this, oh vengeance, vengeance! Me of my lawful pleasure she restrained, and prayeth me aught forbearance, did it with a prudency so rosy the sweet view on it might well have warmed old Saturn, that I thought her as chaste as unsunned snow. Oh, all the devils! This yellow in an hour was to not, or less. At first, perchance he spoke not, but like a full acorned boar, a German one, cried, "Oh!" and mounted. Found no opposition, but what he looked for should oppose, and she should from encounter guard. Could I find out the woman's part in me? For there's no motion that tends to vice in man, but I affirm it is the woman's part. Be it lying, noted. The woman's flattering, hers deceiving, hers lust and rank thoughts, hers revengeance, hers ambitions, covetings, change of prize, disdain, nice longing, slanders, mutability, all faults that have a name, nay, that hell knows. Why, hers? In part or all, but rather all. For even to vice they are not constant, but are changing still. One vice, but of a minute, old for one. Not half so old as that. I'll write against them, detest them, curse them, yet 'tis greater skill in a true hate to pray they have their will. The very devils cannot plague them better. Exit. Alright, enter and state Cymbeline, wife of Cymbeline, Cloten, and Lords. So it's listed as Caius Lucius, but then it drops to Caius, and then just it's Lucius. Which is a very big difference. So I guess the question there would be, so since it drops to Caius, is it still castable? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna double. So a tribune. So we're gonna since since Caius is dropped from it and it's Lucius, we're going to ludicrous Lucius. So ludicrous will be doubled as Lucius in the tribune. Alright. So, and because of security and law, we, in addition to the king, we excluded queen. So, in place of queen, we're going to use the reference, which is the wife that has Cymbeline, or the one that refers to as the one that has the wife of Cymbeline. Cymbeline. Now say, what would Augustus Caesar with us? Lucius. When Julius Caesar, whose remembrance yet lives in men's eyes, and will to ears and tongues be theme and hearing ever, was in this Britain and conquered it. 'Cause Cymbeline, thine uncle, famous in Caesar's praises no whit less than in his feats deserving it, for him in his succession granted Rome a tribute, yearly 3,000 pounds, which by thee lately is left untendered. Wife of Cymbeline. The one that has the wife of Cymbeline. And to kill the marvel shall be so ever. Clothing. There be many Caesars, ere such another Julius. Britain's a world by itself, and we will nothing pay for wearing our own noses. The one that has the wife of Cymbeline. That opportunity, which then they had to take from us to resume, we have again. Remember, sir, my liege, the kings, your ancestors, together with the natural bravery of your owl, which stands as Neptune's park, ribbed and paled and with rocks unscalable and roaring waters, with sands that will not bear your enemies' boats, but suck them up to the topmast. A kind of conquest Caesar made here, but made not here his brag. Of came and saw and overcame. With shame, the first that ever touched him, he was carried from off our coast twice, beaten, and his shipping poor ignorant baubles on our terrible seas, like eggshells moved upon their surges, cracked as easily against our rocks. For joy whereof the famed Cymbeline, who was once at point, oh giglet fortune, to master Caesar's sword, made Lud's town with rejoicing fires bright, and Britain strut with courage. Closer. Come, there is no more tribute to be paid. Our kingdom is stronger than it was at that time, and as I said, there is no more such Caesars. Other of them may have crooked noses, but to all such straight arms none. Cymbeline. Son, let your mother end. Cloten. We have yet many among us can grip as hard as Cymbeline. I do not say I am one, but I have a hand. Why tribute? Why should we pay tribute? If Caesar can hide the sun from us with a blanket or put the moon in his pocket, we will pay him tribute for light. Else, sir, no more tribute. Pray you now. Cymbeline to Lucius. You must know, till the injurious Romans did extort this tribute from us, we were free. Caesar's ambition, which swelled so much that it did almost stretch the size of the world against all color here, did put the yoke upon which to shake off, becomes a warlike people, whom we reckon ourselves to be. We do say then to Caesar, our ancestor was that Mamuterus which ordained our laws, whose use the sword of Caesar hath too much mangle, whose repair and franchise shall by the power we hold, by our good deed, though Rome be therefore angry. Mamuterus made our laws. Who was the first of Britain which didn't put his brows within a golden crown and called himself a king? Lucius. I am sorry, Cymbeline, that I am to pronounce Augustus Caesar, that has more kings his servants than thyself domestic officers, thine enemy. Receive it from me then, war and confusion, in Caesar's name pronounced I against thee. Look, for fury not to be resisted, thus defied, I thank thee for myself. Cymbeline. Thou art welcome. Thy Caesar knighted me, my youth I spent much under him. Of him I gathered honor, which he to seek of me again perforce behooves me keep me at utterance. I am perfect that the Pannonians and Dalmatians for their liberties are now in arms, a precedent which not to read would show the Britons cold. So Caesar shall not find them. Lucius. Let proof speak. Cloten. His Majesty bids you welcome. Might make pastime with us a day or two or longer. If you seek us afterwards in our terms, you shall find us in our saltwater girdle. If you beat us out of it, it is yours. If you fall in the adventure, our crowd shall fare the better for you. And there is an end. Lucius. So, sir? Cymbeline. I know your master's pleasure, and he mine. All the remain is welcome. Exit. Enter Personio. Reading of a letter. Personio. How? Of adultery? Wherefore write you not what monsters her accuser? Leonidas, O master, what a strange infection is fallen into thy ear. What false Italian is poisonous tongued is handed hath prevailed on thy too ready hearing? Disloyal? No. She's punished for her truth and undergoes more goddess-like than wife-like such assaults as would take in some virtue. O my master, thy mind to her is now as low as were thy fortunes. How? That I should murder her? Upon the love and truth and vows which I have made to thy command? I? Her? Her blood? If it be so to do good service, never. Let me be counted serviceable. How look I, that I should seem to lack humanity, so much as this fact comes to? Do it, the letter, that I have sent her by her own command, shall give thee opportunity. Oh, damned it paper, black as the ink that's on thee. Senseless bauble, art thou a fidari for this act? And lookest, So virgin-like without, lo, here she comes. Enter Imogen. I am ignorant in what I am commanded. Imogen. How now, Bassanio? Bassanio, madam, here is a letter from my lord. Imogen. Who? Thy lord, that is my lord? Leonidas? Oh, learned indeed were that astronomer that knew the stars as I his characters. He delayed the future open, you good gods. Let what is here contained relish of love, of my lord's health, of his content. Yet not that we two are asunder, let that grieve him. Some griefs are medicinable. That is one of them, for it doth psychic love of his content. All but in that, good wax they leave. Blessed be your bees that make these lots of counsel. Lovers are and men in dangerous bonds, pray not to like. Though forfeiters you cast in prison, yet you clasp young Cupid's tables. Good news. She reads, justice and your father's wrath. Should he take me in his dominion, could not be so cruel to me as you, oh, the dearest of creatures, would even renew me with your eyes. Take notice that I am Cambria, Milford Haven. What your own love will out of this advise you, follow. So he wishes you all happiness that remains loyal to his vow, and you're increasing in love. Leonidas Postumus. Oh, for a horse with wings. Here is Bassanio. He is at Milford Haven. Read and tell me how far is his thither. If one of me in affairs may plot it in a week, wait, why may not I glide thither in a day? Then true Bassanio, who longest like me to see my lord, who longest, oh, let me bait, but not like me, yet longest, but in a fainter kind. Oh, not like me. For mine's beyond, saying, speak thick. Love's counselor should fill the bores of hearing, to the smoldering of the sense. How far it is to this same blessed Milford. And, by the way, tell me how Wales was made so happy as to inherit such a haven. But, first of all, how may we steal from hence, and for the gap that we shall make in time for our hence going and our return, to excuse? But first, how get hence? Why should excuse be born or ear begat? We'll talk of that hereafter. Prithee speak, how many score of miles may we well ride twixt hour and hour? Bassanio. 1 score twixt sun and sun. Madam's enough for you, and too much too. Imogen. Why? One that rode to execution, man, could never go so slow. I have heard of riding wagers where horses have been nimbler than the sands that run I the clock's behalf, but this is foolery. Go bid my woman feign a sickness, say, she'll home to her father, and provide me presently a riding suit so costlier that would fit a Franklin's huswife. Bassanio. Madam, your best consider. Imogen. I see before me, man, nor here, nor what ensues, but have a fog in them, that I cannot look though. Away, I prithee. Do as I bid thee. There's no more to say. Accessible is none, but Milford way. Exeunt. Enter Belarius, Guiderius, and Arviraeus. So you haven't gathered right now, they are twins. Belarius. A goodly day not to keep house with such. whose roof's as low as ours. Stoop, boys, this gate instructs you how to adore the heavens and bows you to a morning's holy office. The gates of monarchs are arched so high that giants may jet through and keep their impious turbans on, without good morrow to the sun. Hail, heaven! We house in the rock, yet use thee not so hardly as prouder livers do. Guiderius. Hail, heaven! Arviragus. Hail, heaven! Belarius. Now for our mountain sport. Up to yon hill, your legs are young. I'll tread these flats. Consider when you above perceive me like a crow, that it is place which lessens and sets off, and you may then revolve what tales I have told you. Of course, of princes, of the tricks in war. This service is not service, so being done, but being so allowed. To apprehend thus draws us a profit from all things we see. And often to our comfort shall we find the sharded beetle in the safer hole than is the full-winged eagle. Oh, this life is nobler than attending for a check, richer than doing nothing for a bauble, prouder than rustling and unpaid for his silk. Such gain the cap of him that makes him blind, yet keeps his book uncrossed. No life to ours. Guiderius. Out of your proof you speak. We poor unfledged have never weaned from view o' the nest, nor know not that heirs from home. Happy this life is best, is quiet life be best, sweeter to you, that you have a sharper known, well corresponding with your stiff age. But unto us it is a cell of ignorance, traveling a bed, a prison for a debtor that not dares to stride a limit. Arviragus. What shall we speak of when we are as old as you? When we shall hear the rain and wind beat dark December, how is in this our pinching cave shall we discourse the freezing hours away? We have seen nothing. We are beastly, subtle as the fox for prey, like warlike as the wolf for what we eat. Our valor is to chase what flies. Our cage we make a choir, as doth the prison bird, and sang our bondage freely. Belarius. How you speak? Did you but know the city's usuries and felt them knowingly, the art of the court is as hard to leave as keep, whose top to climb is certain falling, or so slippery that the fear's as bad as falling, the toil or the war, a pain that only seems to seek out danger, is the name of fame and honor which dies in the search, and hath as oft the slanderous epitaph, as record of fair act made many times, doth ill deserve by doing well what's worse, must curtsy at the creature. O boys, this story that the world may read in me. My body's marked with Roman swords, and my report was once first with the best of note. Cymbeline loved me, and when a soldier was the theme, my name was not far off. Then was I as a tree, whose boughs did bend with fruit? But in one night, a storm or robbery, call it what you will, shook down my mellow hangings, nay, my leaves, and left me bare to weather. Guiderius. Uncertain favor? Belarius. My fault being nothing, as I have told you oft, but that two villains whose false oaths prevailed before my perfect honor swore to Cymbeline. I was confederate with the Romans, so followed my banishments, and this 20 years, this rock and these dimness have been my world, where I have lived at honest freedom, paid more pious debts to heaven than in all the forend of my time. But up to the mountains, this is not hunter's language. He that strikes the venison first shall be the lord of the feast. To him the other two shall minister. And we will fear no poison which attends in place of greater state. I'll meet you in the valleys. Exeunt. Guiderius and Arviragus. How hard is it to hide the sparks of nature? These boys know little. They are sons to the king. Nor Cymbeline dreams that they are alive. They think they are mine. And though trained up this meanly, the cave wherein they bow, their thoughts do hit. The roofs of palaces, and nature prompts them in simple and low things to prince it much, beyond the trick of others. This Polydore, the hair of Cymbeline in Britain, who? The king? His father called Gregarious? Jove? When on my 3-foot stool I sit and tell the warlike feats I have done, his spirits fly out into my story. Say, thus mine enemy fell, and thus I set my foot on his neck. Even then the princely blood flows in his cheek. He sweats, strains his young nerves, and puts himself in posture that acts my words. The younger brother, Cadwell, once Arviragus, as in like a figure, strikes life into my speech and shows much more, his own conceiving. Hark, the game is roused. O Cymbeline, heaven and my conscience knows thou didst unjustly banish me, whereon at 3 and 2 years old I stole these babes, thinking to bar thee of succession as thou reft me of my lands. Eurofowl, thou wast their nurse. They took thee for their mother, and every day do honor to her grave. Myself Belarius, that am Morgan called, they take for natural father. The game is up. Exit. Enter Bassanio and Imogen. Imogen, thou toldest me when we came from horse the place was near at hand. Never longed my mother so to see me first as I have now, Bassanio. Man, where is Posthumus? What is in thy mind that makes thee stare thus? Wherefore breaks that sigh from the inward of thee? One but painted thus would be interpreted a thing perplexed beyond self-explication. Put thyself into a haver of less fear, ear wildness. Vanquish my straighter senses. What's the matter? Why tenderest thou that paper to me with a look untender? If to be summer news, smile to it before, if winterly thou needest, but keep that countenance still. My husband's hand, that drugged, damned Italy hath outcrafted him, and he's at some hard point. Speak, man, thy tongue may take off some extremity which to read would be even more mortal to me. Bassanio, please you, read, and you shall find me, wretched man, a thing that the most disdained of fortune. Imogen reads. Thy mistress, Bassanio, hath played the strumpet in my bed, the testimonies whereof lies bleeding in me. I speak not of weak surmises, but proof as strong as my grief, and as certain as I expect my revenge. That part, though, Bassanio, must act for me, if thy faith be not tainted with the breach of hers. Let thine own hands take away her life. I shall give thee opportunity at Milford Haven. She hath my letter for the purpose, where, if thou fear to strike and to make me certain it is done, thou art the pander to her dishonor, and equally to me disloyal. Bassanio, what shall I need to draw my sword? The paper hath cut her throat already. Notice slander, whose edge is sharper than the sword, whose tongue outvenoms all the worms of Nile, whose breath rides on the posting winds and doth belie all corners of the world. Kings, queens, and states, maids, matrons, nay, the secrets of the grave. This viperous slander enters. What cheer, madam? Imogen, false to his bed? What is it to be false? To lie and watch there, to think on him? To weep twixt clock and clock, if sleep charged nature, to break it with a fearful dream of him? And cry myself awake? That's false to bed, is it? Bassanio, alas, good lady. Imogen, I false? Thy conscience witness. Thou didst accuse him of incontinency, then thou lookest like a villain. Now methinks thy favour's good enough. Some jay of Italy, whose mother was her painting, has betrayed him. Poor I am stale, a garment out of fashion, for I am richer. Than to hang by the walls, I must be ripped to pieces with me. Oh, men's vows are women's traitors, all good seeming by thy revolt. O husband shall be thought put on for villainy, not born where it grows, but worn a bait for ladies. Bassanio, good madam, hear me. Imogen, true honest men being heard like false Aeneas, were in his time thought false, and Simon's weeping did scandal many a holy tear, took pity from most true wretchedness. So thou, posthumous, wilt lay the laven in all proper men, goodly and gallant shall be false and perjured from thy great fail. Come, fellow, be thou honest, do thy master's bidding. When thou seest him, a little witness my obedience. Look, I draw the sword myself. Take it and hit that innocent mansion of my love in thy heart. Fear not, 'tis empty of all things but grief. Thy master is not there, who is indeed the richest of it. Do his bidding, strike. Thou mayest be valiant in a better cause, but now thou seemest a coward. Bassanio, hence, thou instrument, thou shalt not damn my hand. Imogen, why? I must die, and if I do not by thy hand, thy art. No servants of thy masters, against such slaughter there is a prohibition so divine that cravens my weak hand. Come, here's my heart. Something's afore it. Soft will no defense. Obedience is the scabbard. What is here? The scriptures of the loyal Leonidas, all turned to heresy? Away, away! Corrupters of my faith. You shall no more be stomachers to my heart. Thus may poor fools believe false teachers. Though those that are betrayed do feel the treason sharply, yet the traitor stands in worst case of woe. And thou, posthumous, that didst set up my disobedience against the king my father, and make me put into contempt the suits of princely fellows, shalt hereafter find it is no act of common passage, but a strain of rareness. And I grieve myself to think that when thou shalt be disedged by her, that now thou tirest on, how thy memory will then be pained by me. Prithee, dispatch the lamb, entreat the butcher. Where's thy knife? Thou art too slow to do thy master's bidding when I desire it too. Bassanio, O gracious lady, since I received a command to do this business, I have not slept 1 week. Imogen, do it, and too bad to them. Bassanio, I'll wake mine eyeballs blind first. Imogen, wherefore then didst undertake it? Why hast thou abused so many mouths with the pretense? This place, mine action and thine own, our horses' labor, the time inviting thee, the perturbed court, for my being absent, whereunto I never purpose return. Why hast thou gone so far to be unbent when thou hast taken thy stand? The elected deer before thee? Bassanio. But to win time, to lose so bad employment, in the which I have considered a course. Good lady, hear me with patience. Imogen. Talk thy tongue weary, speak. I have heard I am a strumpet, and mine ear, therein false struck, can take no greater wound, nor tent to bottom that. But speak. Bassanio. Then, madam, I thought you would not back again. Imogen. Most like, bringing me here to kill me. Bassanio. Not so, neither. But if I were as wise as honest, then my purpose would prove well. It cannot be but that my master is abused. Some villain, and singular in his art, have done you both this cursed injury. Imogen. Some Roman courtesan. Bassanio. No, on my life. I'll give but notice you are dead, and send them some bloody sign of it, for 'tis commanded. I should do so. You shall be missed at court, and that will well confirm it. Imogen. Why? Good fellow, what shall I do the while? Where abide? How live? Or in my life what comfort, when I am dead, to my husband? Bassanio. If you're back to the court. Imogen. No court, no father, nor no more ado. Was that harsh, noble, simple nothing, that Cloten, whose love suit hath been to me as fearful as a siege? Bassanio. If not at court, then not in Britain must you bide. Imogen. Where then? Hath Britain all the sun that shines day, night? Are they not but in Britain? High the world's volume, our Britain seems as of it, but not in it. In a great pool of swan's nests, prithee think. There's livers out in Britain. There's livers out of Britain. Bassanio. I am most glad you think of other place. The ambassador Lucius the Roman comes to Milford Haven tomorrow. Now, if you could wear a mind, dark as your fortune is, and but disguise that which to appear itself must not yet be but by self-danger, you should tread a course pretty and full of view, yea, haply near the residence of Posthumus. So nigh at least that, though his actions were not visible, yet report should render him hourly to your ears, truly as he moves. Imogen. Oh, for such means, though peril to my modesty, not death on it, I would adventure. Bassanio. Well then, here's the point. You must forget to be a woman. Change command into obedience, fear, and niceness. The handmaids of all women, or more truly, woman its pretty self, into a waggish courage, ready in gibes, quick answered, saucy, and as querulous as the weasel. Nay, you must forget that rarest treasure of your cheek, exposing it, but so the harder heart, alack, no remedy, to the greedy touch of common kissing titan, and forget your laborsome and dainty trims, wherein you made great Juno angry. Imogen. Nay, be brief, I see into thy hands, and am almost a man already. Pisanio. First, make yourself but like one. For thanking this, I have already fit. 'Tis in my cloak bag, doublet, hat, hose, all that answer to them. Would you in their serving, and with what imitation you can borrow from youth of such a season for noble Lucius, present yourself, desire his service, tell him wherein you're happy, which will make him know, if that his head hath ear in music, doubtless with joy he will embrace you, for he's honorable, and doubling that, most holy. Your means abroad you have me rich, and I will never fail, beginning nor supplement. Imogen. Thou art all the comfort the gods will diet me with. Prithee, away. There's more to be considered, but will even all that good time will give us, this attempt I am soldier to, and will abide it with a prince's courage. Away, I prithee. Pisanio. Well, madam, we must take a short farewell, lest, being missed, I be suspected of your carriage from the court. My noble mistress, here is a box. I had it from the... What's in it is precious. If you are sick at sea, or stomach clawed at land, a dram of this will drive away distemper to some shade and fit you to your manhood. May the gods direct you to the best. Imogen. Amen. I thank thee. Exeunt. So I'm gonna take a little break. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna feeling like keep going. And so another relevant is let's see. I'm just gonna listen to a few sounds. I'm gonna take a little break. And I think I'm gonna take a little break in Austin. The beats. The Austin, the beats. Alright, so that's it for my little break. Um, enter Cymbeline, the one that has the wife of Cymbeline. So why do I keep saying the one that has the wife of Cymbeline? Because I think I mentioned when you do anything, it's kind of important to kind of know who you are with it, and kind of what you have with regards to IDs and identities. So Cymbeline is one of those things that I have with regards to I have with identities. So the wife of the one that has the wife of Cymbeline, I guess it's kind of a challenge to. I guess I'm looking for who has that, like in actuality, not but not literally the wife of Cymbeline, but who has that idea with security and law with regards to Cymbeline. So, um, in terms of our public responsibilities and our public identities. Um, so, there's only one that I have that. So, enter Cymbeline, the one that has the wife of Cymbeline, Cloten, Lucius, and Lords. Cymbeline. Thus far, and so farewell. Lucius. Thanks, royal sir. My emperor hath wrote I must from hence, and am right sorry that I must report ye my master's enemy. Cymbeline. Our subject, sir, will not endure his yoke, and for ourself to show less sovereignty than they must needs appear unkingly. Lucius. So, sir, I desire of you a conduct overland to Milford Haven. Madam, all joy befall your grace and you. Cymbeline. My lords, you are appointed for that office. The due of honor and no point omit. So farewell, noble Lucius. Lucius to Cloten. Your hand. My lord. Cloten. Receive it friendly, but from this time forth, I wear as your enemy. Lucius. Sir, the event is yet to name the winner. Fare you well. Cymbeline. Leave not the worthy Lucius, good my lords, till he have crossed the servant. Happiness. Exempt Lucius. The one that has the wife of Cymbeline. He goes hence frowning, but it honors us that we have given him cause. Cloten. 'Tis all the better. Your valiant Britons have their wishes in it. Cymbeline. Lucius hath wrote already to the emperor how it goes here. It fits us therefore ripely, our chariots and our horsemen be in readiness. The powers that he already hath in Gallia will soon be drawn to head, from whence he moves his war for Britain. The one that has the wife of Cymbeline. 'Tis not sleepy business, but must be looked to speedily and strongly. Cymbeline. Our expectation that it would be thus has made us forward, but, my gentle, where is our daughter? She hath not appeared before the Roman, nor to us have tended the duty of the day. She looks us like a thing more made of malice than of duty. We have noted it. Call her before us, for we have been too slight in sufferance. The one that has the wife of Cymbeline. Royal sir, since the exile of Posthumus, most retired had her life been, the cure whereof, my lord, 'tis time was due. Beseech your majesty, forbear sharp speeches to her. She's a lady, so tender of rebukes that words are strokes and strokes deaf to her. Cymbeline. Where is she, sir? How can her attempt be answered? How can her can her contempt be answered? Attendant. Please you, sir. Her chambers are all locked, and there is no answer that will be given to the loudest of noise we make. The one that has the wife of Cymbeline. My lord, when last I went to visit her, she prayed me to excuse her keeping close, whereto constrained by her infirmity. She said that duty leave unpaid to you, which daily she was bound to proffer. This she wished me to make known, but our great court made me to blame in memory. Cymbeline. Her doors locked? Not seen of late. Grant heavens that which I fear prove false. The one that has the wife of Cymbeline. Son, I say, follow the king. Cloten, that man of hers, Pisanio, her old servant, I have not seen these 2 days. The one that has the wife of Cymbeline. Go look after. Exit Cloten. Pisanio, thou that standest so for Posthumus, He hath a drug of mine. I pray his absence proceed by swallowing that, for he believes it is a thing most precious. But for her, where is she gone? Haply despair hath seized her, or, weaned with fervour of her love, she's flown to her desired posthumous. Gone she is to doubt, or to dishonour, and my end can make good use of either. She being down, I have the placing of the British crown. And to close it. How now, my son? Closing. 'Tis certain she is fled. Go in and cheer the king. He rages, none dare come about him. The one that has the wife of Cymbeline. All the better. May this night forestall him of the coming day. Exit. The one that has the wife of Cymbeline. Closing. I love and hate her, for she's fair and royal, and that she has all courtly parts more exquisite than ladies, woman, from everyone the best she hath, and she of all compounded outsells them all. I love her, therefore, but disdaining me and throwing favors on the low posthumous slander, so her judgment, that what's else rare is choked. And to that point I will conclude to hate her. Nay, indeed, to be revenged upon her. For when fools shall enter Pisanio. Who is here? What are you packing, Sarah? Come hither. Ay, you precious pander, villain, where is thy lady? In a word, or else thou art straightway with the friends. Pisanio. Oh, good, my lord. Close, and where is thy lady? Or by Jupiter, I will not ask again. Close, villain, I have this secret from thy heart, or rip thy heart to find it. Is she with Posthumous, from whose so many weights of baseness cannot a dram of worth be drawn? Pisanio. Alas, my lord, how can she be with him? When was she missed? He is in Rome. Cloten. Where is she, sir? Come near, no farther halting. Satisfy me home what is become of her. Pisanio. O my all-worthy lord. Cloten. All-worthy villain? Discover where thy mistress is at once. At the next word, no more of worthy lord. Speak, or thy silence on the instant is thy condemnation and thy death. Pisanio. Then, sir, this paper is the history of my knowledge, touching her flight. Cloten. Let's see it. I will pursue her even to Augustus' throne. Pisanio. Or this, or perish. She's far enough, and what he learns by this may prove his travel, not her danger. Cloten. Pisanio. I write to my lord she's dead. O Imogen, safe mayest thou wander, safe return again. Cloten. Sir, is this letter true? Pisanio. Sir, as I think. Cloten. It is Posthumous' hand, I know it. Sarah, if thou wouldest not be a villain, but do me true service, undergo those employments, wherein I should have cause to use these with a serious industry. That is, what villainy soever I bid thee do, to perform it directly and truly, I would think thee an honest man. Thou shouldest neither want my means for thy relief, nor my voice for thy preferment. Pisanio. Well, my good lord. Cloten. Wilt thou serve me? For since patiently and constantly thou hast stuck to the bare fortune of that beggar Posthumous, thou canst not, in the course of gratitude, but be a diligent follower of mine. Wilt thou serve me? Pisanio. Sir, I will. Cloten. Give me thy hand. Here's my purse. Has any of thy late master's garments in thy possession? Pisanio. I have, my lord, at my lodging the same suit he wore when he took leave of my lady and mistress. Cloten. The first service thou dost me, fetch that suit hither. Let it be thy first service. Go. Pisanio. I shall, my lord. Exit. Cloten. Meet thee at Milford Haven. I forgot to ask him one thing. I'll remember Tianan. Even there, thou villain Posthumous, will I kill thee? How would these garments were come? She said upon a time, the bitterness of it, I now belch from my heart, that she held the very garment of posthuman in more respect than my noble and natural person, together with the adornment of my qualities. Will that suit upon my back, will I ravish her? First kill him, and in her eyes there shall she see my valor, which will then be a torment to her content. He on the ground, my speech of insult been ended on his dead body, and when my lust hath died, which is, I say, to vex her, I will execute to the close that she was so praised. To the court I'll knock her back, foot her home again. She hath despised me rejoicingly, and I'll be merry in my revenge. Enter Bassanio. Be those the garments? Bassanio. Ay, my noble lord. Closing. How long is it since she went to Milford Haven? Bassanio. She can scarce be there yet. Closing. Bring this apparel to my chamber. That is the second thing that I have commanded thee. The third is that thou wilt be a voluntary meat to my design. Be but duteous and true, preferment shall tender itself to thee. My revenge is now at Milford. Would I had wings to follow it? Come, and be true. Bassanio. Thou biddest me to my loss, for true to thee were to prove false, which I will never be. To him that is most true. To Milford go, and find not her whom thou pursuest. Flow, flow, you heavenly blessings on her. This full speed be crossed with slowness. Labor be his meed. Exit. Enter Imogen alone. I see a man's life in a tedious one. I have tired myself, and for 2 nights together have made the ground my bed. I should be sick, but that my resolution helps me. Milford, when from the mountain top Bassanio showed thee, thou west within a kin. O Jove, I think. Foundations fly the wretched, such I mean, where they should be relieved. 2 beggars told me I could not miss my way. Will poor folks lie that have afflictions on them, knowing 'tis a punishment or trial? Yes, no wonder, when rich ones scarce tell true. To lapse in fullness is sore than to lie for need, and falsehood is worse in kings than beggars. My dear lord, thou art one. Thou art one of the false ones. Now I think on thee. My hunger's gone. But even before I was at point to sink for food. But what is this? Here is a path to it, to some savage hold I were best not call, I dare not call, yet famine ere cleaneth over through nature, makes it valiant. Plenty and peace breeds cowards. Hardness ever oath, hardiness is mother. Ho, who's here? Who's here? If anything that civil speak, if savage, take or lend. Ho, no answer? Then I'll answer. Best draw my sword, and if mine enemy but fear the sword like me, he'll scarcely look on it. Such a foe. Good heavens. Enter Belarius. Good. Oh, she draws her sword and exit into the cave. Enter Belarius, Guiderius, and Arviragus. Belarius, you, Polydora, have proved best woodmen and are master of the feast. Cadwal and I will play the cook and servant since our match. The sweat of industry would dry and die, but for the end it works too. Come, our stomachs will make what's homely savory. Weariness can snore upon the flint, when resty sloth finds the down pillow hard. Now, peace be here, poor house that keepest thyself. Guiderius, I am thoroughly weary. Arviragus, I am weak with toil, yet strong in appetite. Guiderius, there is cold meat in the cave. We'll browse on that. Will this what we have killed be cooked? Belarius, stay. come not in, but that it eats our victuals. I should think here were a fairy. Guiderius, what's the matter, sir? Valerius, by Jupiter, an angel, or if not, an earthly paragon, behold divineness, no elder than a boy. Enter Imogen. Imogen, good masters, harm me not. Before I entered here I called and thought to have begged and bought what I have took. Good troth, I have stole not, nor would not, though I had found gold strewed the floor. Here's money for my meat. I would have left it on the board so soon as I had made my meal and parted with prayers for the provider. Guiderius, money? Youth? Arviragus, all gold and silver rather turned to dirt. As 'tis no better reckoned but of those who worship dirty gods. Imogen, I see you're angry. No, if you kill me for my fault, I should have died had I not made it. Valerius, whither bound? Imogen, to Milford Haven. Valerius, what's your name? Imogen, Fidel, sir. I have a kinsman who is bound for Italy. He embarked at Milford, to whom being going almost split with hunger. I am fallen in this offence. Valerius, prithee, fair youth, think us no churls, nor measure our good minds by this rude place we live in. Well encountered. 'Tis almost night. You shall have better cheer ere you depart. And thanks to stay and eat it. Boys, bid him welcome. Guiderius, were you a woman, youth, I should woo hard, but be your groom in honesty? Ay, bid for you as I do buy. Arviragus to Guiderius, I'll make to my comfort. He is a man, I'll love him as my brother. To Imogen, and such a welcome as I give to him after long absence, such as yours. Most welcome. Be sprightly, for you fall amongst friends. Imogen, amongst friends? If brothers? Would it have been so that they had been my father's sons? Then had my prize been less, and so more equal belasting to thee. Posthumous. Valerius, he rings at some distress. Guiderius, would I come free it? Arviragus, or I, whatever it be? What pain it costs? What danger? Gods? Valerius, hark, boys. Imogen, great men, that had a court no bigger than this cave, that did attend themselves and had the virtue, which their own conscience sealed them, lain by that nothing gift of deferring multitudes, could not outpeer these twain. Pardon me, gods, I changed my sex to be companion with them, since Leonidas is false. Valerius, it shall be so. Boys, we'll go dress our hunt. Fair youth, come in. Discourse is heavy, fasting. When we have supped, we'll mannerly demand thee of thy story, so far as thou wilt it, so far as thou wilt speak it. Guiderius, pray, draw near. Arviragus, the night to the owl and morn to the lark less welcome. Imogen, thanks, sir. Arviragus, I pray, draw near. Exeunt. So we're going to stop there. And that has been our VCU Bachelor Arts class of William Shakespeare Cymbeline. So compatibility, courtship, you, And so even if Nemesis does not currently have VCUBA completion, the point is we are who we are. And if that's being who we are equals VCU Bachelor of Arts, then that's who we are. So it's all about coming within who we are when it comes to courtship. And not going into thoughts of who we are not, such as, I lack this or I don't have this. Because essentially who you are and what you have is who you are and what you have, and nobody can kind of take that away. And our path is about coming within who we are and what we have, because it's ours to keep. So we are still have a little ways to go. So, I guess in a perspective, it could seem like, it's kind of challenging when little things are in there that aren't compatible to the characters that's being presented or the actual story. So then you have to find yourself staying within that character when it comes to the security and the text and the relationships. So that not only are you physically safe, but you're mentally safe and emotionally safe as well. So that you being, you yourself, but also everyone that has that you, in terms of your family, those relationships, whether it be business, personal, professional. So it all comes down to just who we are and who we are as BT and Mrs. BT is a VCU, the class, the status of VCU Bachelor Arts, Cymbeline, and the competence of how to have it live while contributing to community and life and all. So I guess another part of it too when it comes to courtship is being strong within that, who you are as a couple, so that what you have within that couple keeps not keeps but doesn't where there's not a situation where what that other half or that other part of you don't know that they will that there will be an opportunity or a door for feelings that aren't of your other half, like inadequacy, just basically anything that is not of who you are together, or lack of knowledge, or a lack of comprehension of a industry or a art form or an artwork, but that essentially who you are is in place, for the securing and the protection of you as a couple, and vice versa. What was put there with your opposite is there for the security and protection of, um, you know, that complementary compatibility effect when it comes to a couple. So that's courtship and compatibility. And also, standing around where no one, like outside of that, where it is, where you're just kind of focused on, that compatible person. So, nobody else is able to occupy that your opposite, the character of your opposite. And also putting in, if that's what you have, that, for your opposite, that no one is able to occupy your character with regards to interacting with your opposite. So that's a part of the courtship and compatibility as well. Just being in it together fully and completely, and it being essentially impossible for anyone else to occupy, your character. So that's this is going to that's going to conclude our little contribution to courtship and compatibility. So that's it.